first, live, local.
Oh, yeah.
This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. That is a live look of downtown Portland right there from our Shriners cam. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice day out. And it's going to be a nice weekend. There's a lot of things going on, but we're going to be talking about one of those things here in just a second. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. We start out here every weekday around 1 p.m. covering a wide range of topics. And we appreciate all of you who are joining us, whether you're watching on the website, kptv.com, or downloading that Fox 12 Oregon app, or finding us elsewhere. Thanks for doing so. Sometimes you can watch this afterward as well. I mean, you can. So you can watch all our segments. But right now we're talking about something this weekend. It is the 43rd annual National Motocross event in Washougal, Washington. Motocross, huge. This is one of the biggest events for this season, and it's taking place, seriously, just right up there in Washington. So we're going to talk about that right now. Joining us, we have Ryan Huffman, one of the event organizers here for this huge thing that's happening there on Saturday, July 20th. And Ryan, thanks for being here with us to bring this up. And, for people who are in motocross, they obviously know all about this. For people who aren't, they may know it as well. But could you give us just a little bit of the history of, how Washougal has become such a big part of motocross overall?
Yeah, it's ran a national event since 1980. It was around since 71 and became a national track with my dad. He actually funded the first national. My family was into dirt bikes before that. I got older brothers before I was probably born. They were into it. So our history goes back quite a ways with it. And then into developed helping this national out. My dad eventually took it over and carried it on to this point. We've had a couple of races where we missed out when my dad took it over. We had to fix the water system, and then obviously the COVID year got us. But other than that, we're going on to our 43rd national.
Wow, so your dad was in it, you have older brothers in it, so this is something that's been lifelong for you. What is it about motocross that you love so much that you want to continue doing this?
I mean, I'm lucky, right? I did it as a youngster and was pretty good across the amateur world, but from there I did it as a living myself, and lucky. It's tough, right? There's not very many spots for it, so I'm pretty blessed and thankful that I got to that point. And obviously with my dad running this and my family helping out with it, I get to carry on doing something that's pretty cool. It's motocross, right? And it's what I did for fun and a living, and now it's what riding the bikes. Now it's what I do for a living, helping promote and be a part of one of the best series in the world.
And what is it about Washougal that makes it such a good place? Clearly it is 43 years and even before that, but what is it about Washougal that makes it so special for motocross?
I mean, number one is the setting, right? It's the Northwest. We got all the big trees, kind of really a park-like setting. Kind of as we go with, we're clean, green, and pristine. So it's that, there you go. You're showing some of it. So it's pretty impressive. We get a little bit of shade, a little bit more unique for the fans to wander around. Our track has, I think, 10 or 11 tunnels, so they can get around and see most of the track. Got to intermix with a lot of the fans, but it's just unique. The riders, like it for its setting. We're a little tougher with the shade and the dirt, but it's become known as, really the most beautiful track on the series.
And this is bringing in people from all over because this is a national event. This is big, for the competitors on that side of things. How far away are we talking about? How many people are coming into town?
I mean, competitors wise, if you're talking the pros, I mean, there's some of the top guys are Australian, few other from, overseas, I guess is the best way to put it. Then we got our Americans. You got Levi Kitchen, who I guess as much as how far you could say not any closer. His house actually that he grew up in looks right down at the track. So he's not just local, he's like a neighbor. And he's probably one of the favorites, being local. He just won last weekend, which is really cool. So that's neat. But, they're across the U.S. A lot of riders, migrate to Florida for the warm weather and training in the heat, the top guys. But it's definitely across the U.S.
And for this circuit too, just to put it into context, so this is one here in Washougal. How many, races, I don't know if that's the correct word, but how many different events are there for the championship circuit?
We're number 8 of 11 on the outdoor series. The bigger part of it all is what they call SMX. super motocross. It's kind of a marriage of the Supercross series that you see in like Lumen Field up in Seattle, or the other football stadiums, I would say, for the most part, or baseball. That's on TV and all that. They've kind of married in, and now there's an Ultimate Championship, which is the SMX one that compiles points from both for the riders and puts the track in the same way. So it's pretty neat. We're 8 of 11 of the outdoor, but I don't know the right number. Supercross is around 17. That makes us what, 25 of the whole picture, 26. I could be wrong, but it's pretty neat. We're right in there, and the points are still tight for the riders. I mean, there's a little bit of riders running away with it, but it's exciting to be where we are in the series.
Yeah, and to have this, right here in the Northwest for so long, and having it right here near everything, Washougal. So going from the competitor standpoint, talking about from the fan experience, what is it like for a general fan to go see motocross? If it's somebody who hasn't been to one before, what is it like for them?
I mean, it's a lot of energy, right? It's obviously kind of a wow factor. At least most of the new people I know that come, the bikes fly high. They go a lot faster than I think people are expecting. The obstacles are probably, a bit different than what they would expect. I mean, for the most part, that's what I get from some of the new people. Wow, I didn't expect this, or that's neat, or this is amazing. Obviously, the dirt bikes, they do have sound requirements. They're not as loud as like they used to be, but you got that effect too, the sound of it all. And it's just, if you could really understand the athletes, their fitness is like, is Tour de France, World Cup soccer style fitness. Their heart rates are 190 beats, some of them, they say, for the 35 minutes, dang near straight. And that's just, it's amazing. So they get to see like some serious, competition and athletes working hard.
Yeah, 35 minutes straight, running that and also next to everybody else. I mean, that's a lot of action going on right there, let alone going around a track and then having the crowd there. And I know for the experiences for fans who go up there, and there's something else that you added in. I saw there's helicopter tours that you have as well that you can take of the actual track.
Yeah. They go through the rest of this afternoon. There is some in the morning. You need to go online and get those if you do. They're running out pretty quick. But that's pretty neat. I got a friend down the road that's actually used to deal with the helicopters, and I think a flight engineer in the Air Force. He's helping out with it. Which, if I can lead into it now, a cool thing, thinking of helicopters, is we're Military Appreciation this year too, which is a neat thing. And I don't know if you want to touch on that. You probably can lead in with a question and help me have a better answer. But it's a really neat aspect of our race this year.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get to that too and cover that. Something that is really important this year, I know, is, appreciation of the military. It's military appreciation during this. So can you tell us about that and why that's important to you and what you plan to do for that side of things?
I mean, I'll do my best here. My wife, she's kind of the one that spearheaded. I mean, I am all into it. It's awesome. But really, it's just, I'll try to be quick here, but my dad had a prosthetic, and like when the Vietnam come around and you got drafted, he tried to tell them and they didn't believe him. And so he got there and obviously he got turned away for it, and he would have served, right? I mean, it's just how he was. And I think through that, our family's kind of learned through him. He's always been extra appreciative of the service, and maybe, I don't know if he felt guilty he couldn't go, but we've always done a lot since, especially after 9/11. We did some stuff when people would get back and let them ride the track. Even in the middle of a pro day, we made like a special, like a veteran lap, and it's kind of caught on and came and went a little bit in the beginning, but we've held strong with it. So we got, during the middle of the pros at halftime, we let the veterans do a lap to show their appreciation. Probably the coolest part for me is all that together, but it starts out with the F-15s flying over, at the national anthem this year. So that's really cool.
That's amazing. So F-15s flying over Washougal, flying over the racetrack. That's awesome. I mean, and that adds into that too, just showing that appreciation for the military. And I think something else, just to ask you, you've, as we mentioned, this has been in your blood, since you were born. It's part of your family. Yep. It's part of something that you've continued on doing. And this is all also right there in Washougal. So what do you think this race means to the city and community of Washougal?
I mean, locally, I know right in the town, right, and out through the county, they love it, right? It's good for the economy. It's good for that. Most of the local people seem to really like it and enjoy what it brings, there's a saying that goes around. Our announcer seems to say it. I guess I've never researched it, but we actually are the biggest sporting event, I believe, in the Clark County, Vancouver area. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess I haven't researched it. I would hope if he said it as much as he did, it is. Um, but that's neat, So obviously it means a lot to those around, and we're kind of in an R5 residential 5-acre area. Our track's grandfathered in, but we got 5-acre neighbors around, and I would say I get along with, I don't know, hopefully all of them. It's definitely a pretty positive thing for not just only the community, the neighbors, and probably the state of Washington and even the Portland area. To be honest, we bring a lot to the area.
Absolutely. Well, for people who want to go check it out here this weekend, what's the best way for them to get involved, find out more, get their tickets, and all of that?
Just get on our website. It'll take you to our tickets. I will say we are full on camping. There's a little bit of people still driving in, so we're not going to turn them around, but our camping really got full this year. People are coming for the whole week experience this year, or the last couple of days. But you get on our website. Tickets are still available for the Saturday, only. We're including parking with that this year to make it a faster drive in, so you don't have to wait to get or pay for parking as part of your ticket. So just head over to our website. Should be all the information you need.
All right. Well, hey, Ryan, thank you very much for joining us to talk about this and share your experience and, let everybody know about what's happening right there in Washougal, which has been happening for so many years, and everybody can go check that out. And best of luck this weekend, man, and thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on. And sorry, I've kind of lost my voice through lots of radio talk and the setup, but
I imagine you've got a lot happening.
Yeah, we'll recover. We get a couple of days to recover next week.
Nice. Well, it's just a couple more days. Yeah, just got to power through, I guess, and hopefully relax at some point. But yeah, Ryan, thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 12 Now.
Yep, thank you so much.
And for everybody watching too, this is, like I mentioned, Fox 12 Now, so we live stream here. If it's your first time watching, I always want to let everybody know, or maybe you're a continuous watcher, thank you. But you can check out all of our segments at kptv.com under the Fox 12 Now tab, or on the Fox 12 Oregon app, or we're on YouTube as well. So, you can find lots of places to see this, share it, let other people know about it. Coming up at 1:30 today, we're going to talk about our trip out to the Oregon Zoo for Wildlife Live. We got to meet some of the animals. We got to meet some of the handlers, some of the people who host the event. So that's, again, at 1:30 p.m., pretty exclusive behind-the-scenes look that we got there. So you'll want to check that out. And plus, lots more happening this afternoon, but we're going to regroup. We'll be back in a few. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.